Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to the Rubber Room, the place where we talk about all things sexy, shiny, and sinful. I'm Kable, and get on your knees like a good little boy.
And I'm Romeo, and my safe word is blancmange.
Oh, blancmange, fun. And today is the first ever episode of the Rubber Room. You're probably wondering, what is this all about, and why are we doing this? And we'll go into that in just a sec. We really created the Rubber Room as a space to educate, to learn more about kink, and hopefully inspire some of you as well to start getting more into kink as time goes on too. So please join us for this journey we're about to go on. Sit tight and strap on for the ride of your life. Word of warning before we start, we obviously are going to be talking about kinks quite a lot. Some are a bit safer than others, and it's really important whenever we're playing with kink that we make sure we stay safe, we ask for consent, but most importantly, we have fun. Without further ado though, Romeo, tell us why we're here. Come on.
We're here because I'm an egomaniac. Essentially, I've wanted to do something creative for a long time. I'd like to write novels, but my brain won't let me do that at the minute. So I want to get my creativity and my kink life wrapped together neatly so that I can focus on them together. I feel like kink is becoming more mainstream, but there's still a lot of misinformation and misapprehension and all this rubbish. Yeah. So why not clear it up? And it's an excuse to gear up with a handsome man, so I can't complain.
Oh, talk about yourself. Come on.
Stop it.
I think you raised a good point though. I think that obviously I would love kink to be more mainstream, and I think more people talking about it, more accepted. And I know in some countries, some cultures, obviously it is a bit more popular. I think we're quite blessed to be here in Manchester, which I should say we're giving a shout out to the Eagle Bar. You can probably see from behind us that we are here in the Eagle, Manchester's kinky club, and we're really pleased to be working with them. It's an integral part of the kink scene we've got here, so it made perfect sense to be hosting our podcast in this place. But yeah, I'm really excited to really talk about the world of kink, also explore new kinks as well that maybe we haven't touched on. I've had about 7 years of exploring kink, and I'm hoping that I've covered most of them, but I always know that there's more to explore. So
yeah, for sure. And me and Cable both have different experiences, different approaches to it, but me and Cable don't know each other that well, so this is going to be us getting to know each other, so it should be quite fun uncovering each other's dirty little secrets.
I'm sure you've got plenty.
No. Right, yeah, so how did you get into kink?
I think the first thing that I sort of got me into it was definitely at a young age. My family had a lot of superhero movies growing up as a kid. That was very much what I was raised on, and I think obviously over time you start seeing more of the lycra, the spandex, the very hot men, chiseled, all of that. And I think that's definitely had an effect on kind of my kinks later in life. Definitely, obviously, you can see from the rubber perspective, and I think that watching a lot of those movies, it was the tightness, it was also the shininess as well, and obviously things like Venom, I think, have played a massive part in that. And your sort of experience similar in a way, isn't it?
Spider-Man 3 would be my official kink awakening. There was some dabbling beforehand, Batman and Robin with the Bane sequence, the 97 one. Terrible film, but some good fetish content. And Spider-Man 3, again, not a great film, but some good fetish content with the Venom symbiote crawling over Tobey Maguire and whatever his name is from 70s show. For Grace.
Oh yeah, you're very good at knowing actors. I'm terrible with those names.
I'm good at actors that I would like to have sex with. Beyond that, okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I know Chris Evans.
Checks out.
But yeah, so what I really liked about the Venom of it all as well was the corruption side of it, which is more than just being covered in shiny stuff. It's like you're into your darker urges. And the superhero notion, there's a story that I'm reading which is about a superhero being brainwashed into a rubber slave pup. And it's really hot. Just the degradation and the reducing of this moral person to this bestial slut. Just great fun.
Because you're more on the sort of submissive side of kink, would you say?
Yeah.
Based on obviously what I know.
The way I see it is like I help run a pub, so a lot of my work life is making decisions. Yeah, so I work a job where I'm making a lot of decisions every day, and I don't want to be doing that outside of work. I like to step back, let someone else take the reins, and just experience. It's also the way my head goes. I'm always running around up there, so I like to be forced to just still.
And I've got a lot of friends that I think in the similar boat where they kind of want that shift from their daily life. It's very much, you get in the bedroom and it's almost like you want the reverse, because I think I've seen that for a lot of people. It's similar to me as well. I'm quite shy in real life. I really struggle to reach out and speak to people, especially in group situations. But when I'm in the bedroom, that's my space. I'm in control. I really like the aspect of taking care of people in those spaces as well. And I think because I've had quite a few years under my what's the phrase?
Under your belt.
Under my belt, yes.
Under your balls.
Under my balls. That feels more appropriate. A few years under my balls. In the kink community, I think that really makes me want to share that with other people as well, and what I've learned and how people have taken care of me, so that I can hopefully do the same for them, but obviously in a fun, dominant way.
Yeah, I get that. I would like to play around with like being an alpha sub at some point. Yeah. Like having a dom and then breaking in subs for the dom. Yeah. Kind of role play, lock dick, strap on kind of thing. Alpha pig.
I think this is what I love about kink. There's so many different dynamics.
Yeah.
And you can't limit it to just like top bottom, dom sub, pet owner. Like things aren't binary.
Yeah.
And the world is not binary.
It's not even top bottom anymore because you've got sides.
Exactly, and this is what I mean. I know a lot of kinksters that are sides, and I think I kind of love it, because I think again there's this expectation you have to be top or bottom or verse, but you can really enjoy sex without having to do any of that, and it's a really wonderful thing that I'd love to promote more. So
the first episode we are just talking about our general kink journeys and stuff. One that I forgot that came back to me was, have you ever read the Chronicles of Narnia?
I've not read them. I've watched all the films so far.
So the sixth book is called The Silver Chair, and in it there is a prince who wears a suit of armour all the time, and then for 1 hour every day he has to be strapped into a silver throne.
Yeah.
Because a madness takes hold of him. But when he's strapped into the silver chair, he's actually himself, and he's cursed the rest of the time. The prince has to be rescued from this bondage chair, essentially. And what's funny is that that's written by C.S. Lewis, was a Catholic. Like, he became Catholic and wrote Narnia as an allegory for Christianity. It's interesting that he managed to get a bondage chair in there. I don't remember that.
I wonder if it's intentional, yeah.
Well, yeah. But then again, it's all just, we all have like a base sexual urge, and then everything just comes from it. So I wonder, like, lots of people are into bondage and discover bondage without knowing bondage is a thing.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something baked into your people that means that this is stuff we want to explore.
Yeah.
Like independently discovering rubber. Like, I don't know who first did it.
Yeah.
It's just wild that these things came to be and that we get to enjoy it.
I know, and I think we're very blessed, especially like not just in today's society, but in Manchester as well, having access to a community that is very welcoming, very open. I know that there are a lot of places around the world where being kinky and into kink is not something you can really explore outside your bedroom. So I think I'm very aware of how lucky I am to be in such an amazing city. And that's kind of what I'm hoping as well, is we can just really bring kink to the masses for those who aren't able to explore it, whether that's because of your city or your family or your friends. Like, obviously, there's a lot of reasons why it might be hard to explore it, but there's always ways. I think, as you've said, like, there's so many inspirations that around the world in media.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, I mean, Kim Kardashian, as much as I'm not the biggest fan generally, she was wearing latex a couple of years ago and making people talk about it.
And the VMAs, Sam Smith, when they wore that suit on the runway, made by Fetish Daddy, I believe, I was absolutely amazed, impressed. I'm really glad that we were bringing kink. And it wasn't just a latex dress or a latex suit. It was a statement, and I think that's what I really, really
That's what, like, again, latex, well, I would like to wear it every day. It's not very practical.
Yeah.
But you can get away with a lot of fashion-y statement pieces, like you say. And I know Kylie Minogue's dancers were wearing latex for some of her tour recently, and that was made by Fetish Daddy, I think.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they've done very well. I know the owners as well, absolutely lovely people.
Well, that is nice seeing that kind of thing becoming more acceptable, or at least less taboo, like, you can get away with wearing leather anywhere. So why can't you do the same with rubber?
Yeah, and I think that's what I'd love to see, is it becoming more and more mainstream. I love to wear clothes, even outside of kink, that are very tight fitting, all of that.
He really does, yeah.
You've seen it, yes. But I think, the more that we can do that, I think the better. But I think as well, like it brings me back to how like my intro to kink, and I think it fits in quite nicely because for a long time I actually wasn't kinky. It was only around 2021 that I think I started to really explore that properly. And before that, I'd had quite a few relationships, which were very vanilla. It was very much just what you would expect in terms of normal sex, as it were, which was it was fun, and obviously at that time I didn't know anything else. But I think what really shifted it for me is my first long-term relationship, which I was with somebody for 2 years, and absolutely head over heels for them. It was great fun, and the sex was amazing. But after about a year or a year and a half, you start to think like, can we change this up? Are there things we could be doing in the bedroom? And I would encourage things and try things, but my partner at the time wasn't kinky, and that's completely fine. They didn't really have any kinks. I think the main one was wearing mesh. So that was kind of their thing that they really enjoyed. Yeah. But this is the thing, is I didn't feel like I had a space to really explore it. And it was only when that relationship ended that in my head I was like, this is the time where I can really see what's out there, because I didn't know. And I think we were saying before as well, just like the first time that I saw latex, at that point I didn't really even know it existed, saw it on porn or websites or even like shops. That's when you're like, that's what I've been missing. Yeah. That's what I've been looking for. So my first piece of rubber was off of Wish. It was
by the way, I'll be making lots of comments about I'm a snob essentially, so I don't like buying cheap, I don't like buying secondhand books. That's because I'm a bit of an arsehole. So
good quality.
Well, yeah, I'll just be sneering a little bit. Yeah. No judgment, but I will be judging.
But so for me, as a student living in Manchester, I was in third year of uni, and I did not have the money to be able to explore this in a way that I was felt comfortable like giving all that money and time, because what if I bought it and I hated it?
That's what overdrafts are for.
Well, yeah. I was really trying not to get in my overdraft. But yeah, so first piece of rubber I bought was some rubber shorts that I got off Wish. It cost me, I think it was like 20 quid, which is quite expensive for Wish, but it was like proper latex, and I wanted to make sure that it was that. So got that, arrived. They fit terribly. The rubber itself was actually really good. Like, it's really thick rubber, like more than the standard like 0.4, which I think is what it usually is. And I immediately put them on, and even though it fit terribly, I fell in love immediately. It was like, this, it feels amazing. And I think from there it's just spiraled. That's kind of what's inspired so many other kinks that I've got. I'm a pup. I'm into e-stim, fisting, chastity, water sports. Like, honestly, the list goes on. So rubber really was the first for me, which I think is why it's so precious to me. And my collection is ridiculously big now, which I think anyone will tell you. But I also really appreciate how it's given me the confidence to explore other kinks as well.
It definitely is. It's so like the materials can be a really good way to get into the kink world, and then once you've got like your aesthetic or the thing that you like having on you, it does open the door for other stuff. Yeah. Because like it's very rare you get rubber porn that doesn't have something else in it, or leather porn that doesn't have something else, that doesn't have bondage or role play or something, because they're kind of interconnected. So it is a good way to get your foot in the door. Yeah. I remember the first rubber I ever got. Well, I got some because I was working at a charity place for school, because at my school they were like, okay, it's sixth form, you don't have to do PE, but if you're not doing PE, you have to do charity work. Mm-hmm. So I went and did some work in a park, and there were some like pond cleaning rubber gauntlets in a cupboard. And so I'm like, oh. So I grabbed them, but they stank of pond. They're not ideal. But then I ended up Googling and got some on Amazon. Yeah. And I've had those for 15 years. And it were just gloves that I got to start with, and it was just mind-blowing. Which is just really, like, I try not to question it, because the more you think about it, the weirder it is. Like, why does this get me off?
Kink is weird.
Yeah, but like, sex is weird. Putting bits of yourself inside someone else is a weird thing, objectively.
And that's what I kind of love, the fact that it's weird. I like being weird. I like being different. And I think that I just like more people to be like, yeah, it's fun to be different. It's fun to be weird. we haven't even talked about the fact we're both ADHD as well, and I think being
undiagnosed.
Okay, diagnosed, undiagnosed, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing, and if you become neurodiverse, you can diagnose other people apparently. So
yeah, it seems that way. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I've got some friends who are on the autism spectrum. And they're like, yeah, you might have something. I'm like, I know. Tell the NHS that. Yeah. Anyway, different topic.
But I think even that point, like, I think that's what I kind of love is I know my brain works in a different way, and because of that, that's why I think I love kink so much, because I like knowing that it's kind of taking things outside the box, and we're challenging the norms. We're making a statement to really say, like, look, this is fun. Like, it's fun. Yeah. It's weird. Everyone should try it. If you don't like it, that's fine. And there's many kinks that I don't like, and there's many kinks that other people won't like. But at least, like, we're in this space where we're just all having a great time.
Well, I find it is quite liberating as well, because, like, Kable wears tight clothes all the time, because he's a little slut.
That's me.
But I am very much jeans and a t-shirt kind of guy. That's all I wear. The closest to kink I'll get to wearing in my normal clothes or anything vaguely is, like, I like a pair of Docs. I like a pair of Timbs. I like a boot. But that's as far as I go in my normal wardrobe. But when I get to my kink wardrobe, I'm wearing colours that I'd never wear. Showing off my body in a way that I wouldn't normally, and it doesn't even feel like I'm showing off my body. Like, I feel more comfortable sat in a rubber cat seat than I would if I was sat here, in just boxes. Second skin sort of like armour, but also it's just freeing in a way. So when I was coming up from a small-ish northern town, it was all internet, my discoveries, which is really good, because without it, I'd be a very repressed, strange little man trapped somewhere, because it really did open the door, and I do think that the internet has been great for kinksters being able to explore and find stuff, and find people like them. Like, I've got friends in Australia and that I've never even met, and in America, but, they are good mates, because we've been chatting for hundreds of years about rubber.
And that's the other thing, like, that I particularly love about this community is it brings so many people together, because I never would have imagined having some best mates in Sydney and in Singapore and the US. Like, the fact that you just get such a access at such a global level is so wonderful. And there's some people that I've grown really close to that I probably won't see until, like, once a year kind of thing, when we go to big events and things like that, or if we make the trip. But it really means a lot when you do get to see them, because you are sort of talking quite a lot online and social media. So
yeah, there's plenty of people I'd like to meet. I'd like to try and get to MIR in Chicago. It is in Chicago, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
But America at the minute, maybe not, and also money. It is a pricey hobby / lifestyle,
which will be an episode in future, I'm sure, is the cost of having kinks.
Yeah,
so.
But this is sort of my one major indulgence. Yeah. So I don't feel too bad spending money on it, or getting hotels for weekends away kind of stuff.
Exactly. And if you love it, like,
you've got to live, haven't you?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's a tiny part of me that does feel guilty when I buy a new suit, and I'm like, should I really be getting another one?
How many bodies do I have?
Well, yeah. But on the flip side, it's like, it just makes you feel so good.
Yeah.
And I think you and me both, we really express ourselves in our rubber, because we both like different colours, different styles, different ways of wearing it. As you said, like, even complementing kinks, your rubber with other kinks, I think is so important. So, like, boots, trainers, pup, like, all of this stuff. So I just think, like, why would you limit yourself if you can? And the best thing is, as well, with the community, I know a lot of people are willing to help you learn about kinks if you don't have the money as well, which, again, is another thing I love. Like, come knock on my door if you want to get in a vac bed, if you want to.
Address will be linked below, so you can go stalking.
Honestly, yeah. So, like, this is the thing. I love being a dom because it helps others explore that side that they may not have access to as well. So
it's an expression kind of thing, and I think for me, it can be very difficult to, relate. But when I'm in a crowd of rubber men, there's nothing better. Yeah. It's just like, oh, these are my people. Yeah. Or at least some of my people. I will find my people in this shiny mass. Yeah. Because I do think kinksters generally think outside the box a little bit, because that's what we do. And it's a nice vibe to be around. And there aren't very many problematic kinksters not on the scene. I really like Manchester. I lived here for 8 months in 2019. I was working at a bar all night and seeing no one. Didn't do it very well. But I've wanted to come back for ages, and I would really like to get back to this city. I finally made friends here, which is nice, because now I'll actually, even if I'm working a shitty job, I could then go to someone's house and say, hey, pay attention to me.
I'm here.
Yeah, but like I do really like Manchester. I love Canal Street for how fetish friendly it is. I love the Eagle. I love Wren Bar. It's a really great place, and we are really lucky to be here and have it so close, and like have the work done for us already. We can't talk about Manchester Rubbermen without talking about Sly Hands, who helped set it up. He passed away 6-7 years ago, and I was gutted because I hadn't got on the scene yet, so I never got to meet him, and he was like one of my inspirations. But there's a great crowd. There's probably like thousands of people descend for Manchester Rubber Weekend from all over the place. It's a great way to meet people that you've been talking to online, but new people. Great way to get into the scene is there'll be someone you can talk to. That's why we wanted to film it at the Eagle, because we want to show off the community.
Yeah, which I'm very excited for. I think there's so many people within this space that have so much to share. I am fully not saying that I'm an expert, and I think that's what I'm excited about, is I will share my experience over the past few years and going from being a very subby kinkster to very dominant. But also just getting people on to talk about things like art and kink, as we talked about, like movies and kink, sex and kink, the psychology of kink. Like there's so many aspects to it that I think I'm really excited to explore on this podcast.
Definitely. I think that's a good wrapping up point for episode 1.
Yeah.
We'll be getting more community involvement as we go, and we'll be asking for your input. So I am on the socials at Rubber Romeo.
And I'm Rubber Kable. Straightforward.
So yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Rubberroom Media, and our email is rubberroommedia.info@gmail.com. We will be scouring through those. We want questions, we want stories, we want your input, who you think we should talk to, what you think we should talk about. Please talk to us, because we want this to be as community involved as possible. Whether you're in Manchester, the UK or not, shout things at us and we will respond.
Very exciting. That's 1 episode down.
Aye.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you on the flip side.
Aye. See you later, guys. Goodbye.